Good evening and welcome to the Evening Review. My name is Bruni McLaren, and joining me in studio is SME Bank depositor Daniel Nyaungwa, who will be speaking about how the demise of the SME Bank affected not only him, but many depositors who held funds with the bank. Before we go into that interview, a short break. Good evening and welcome to the Evening Review.
Thank you very much, Bruni. Thank you for inviting us as SME depositors.
The bank's liquidation in 2017, how did it affect you as a depositor when funds were frozen and you could not have access to your money at that time?
Yeah, let me just start there. From 2017, what happened to the bank when over $200 million was invested, so-called invested in South Africa, and that money disappeared. Mostly that time they were citing that money was invested in vendor building society in South Africa. So by that time now, the bank's liquidity went down. So all our funds were frozen in the bank. So we still have money in the bank. Our money was not yet paid out as we speak. And it has affected me personally. Of course, it was money for the business. We could not do what we were supposed to do, and it affected business so much. And all the SMA depositors, they were greatly affected. There are some who had put their life savings into that bank. Some, they were just SMEs, small businesses, who had worked their life to start their own businesses. And they trusted their money with the SME Bank. And we lost all that money. We have not yet got that money. Many of us lost assets. Many of us lost houses because our money was with SME Bank. We could not pay the bank anymore. We could not pay for our cars. We could not pay even for school fees. You know the situation whereby you wake up, your bank account is frozen. You can't access your funds. It affects everything. It affected also people even, not only financially. You find some people who had to go for counseling because they were traumatized. They had to go to psychologists. I think some of our members, even the other one, were trying to counsel him, say, no, I will even take my gun and shoot myself in front of those people, those liquidators. Then we had to say, no, start our counseling. So that is how it has affected families. Yes.
On the issue of the liquidators, we understand that at $1.2 billion Namibian in depositors fund was held in the SME Bank. This amount has come down to 50 million. From what was held in the account, from what was held in the SME Bank to what the amount is now, do you think enough is being done by the liquidators to ensure that they can recover as much money as is possible from those who owe the bank and those who have alleged to have made the questionable investments?
Yeah, these liquidators, Bruni and McLaren, us as depositors, I want people to understand, we are not investors. We did not borrow from the bank. We took our own money and put in the bank. So as of us, they've not done enough at all. Why am I saying so? Because number one, there is lack of transparency. We don't even know exactly how much they are collecting, how much they are supposed to collect. We are not told as depositors. So that's where the problem starts. And to start from 1.2 billion, as you mentioned, to only 50 million. And that 50 million, I guess we were told maybe we just have now to get 5 cents for every dollar you have, which is not also guaranteed. So there's no transparency with the liquidators, and we are not satisfied at all. And as of now, we are hearing that they've diverted from SMEB issues. They have other monies. They are also working like Air Namibia. They are on Air Namibia account now, and us, we have been forgotten. Ever since 2017, we did not receive our money. We have some SME depositors, a lot of us over 1 million. Some have got 2.2 million, some have got of their businesses, and their business has to stop running. So the liquidators has not done enough at all, according to us. And secondly, I don't think they can compare us to certain organizations like corporates. I understand even some parastatals, like Social Security, they also have their money there.
Yes.
But now all of us were equated as the same. I don't want to say Social Security did not work for the money which is there. They did. But us as individual depositors, it affects more. It really affects us than those corporates. That's where we were talking to liquidators. I say, this is the time now you have to give us preference as small depositors than all these other corporates they are talking of. And for us, we don't understand how that mathematics works. From 1.2 billion to 50 million, there's no transparency. What happened to all the money which is being collected? That is the question.
Speaking about the 5% payout, and then the issue of the guarantee that you might not get anything, how do you feel about that? Because initially reports were that you would get 20%, reports were that depositors were guaranteed at 25,000, and now we're on the issue of 5%. If you had to just reflect on that.
5% is actually a mockery to somebody. For example, I was owing my bank a car. Then I have 500,000 in the bank. If they give me 5%, is it even enough to go and pay off my house? Perhaps my house was left with only 200,000 to pay off. Then they give me 5%. I'm still on that position where every depositor really is 5% is not acceptable, according to us small depositors. We are not going to accept that one.
Mr. Nyongwa, I have a few more questions, but before we delve into issues related to the SME Bank, I'd quickly like to call for a short commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Love would come my way, sitting waiting for my life to start. Oh yeah, I couldn't help but wonder if I'd see a brighter day, that I would find some peace of mind, and love would fill my heart. Thanks to you, I got a reason every day to keep believing I can do.
Welcome back. As we continue our conversation on the SME Bank, Mr. Nyongwa, was there ever any doubt with regards to the confidence you had in the SME Bank. I know that there were reports at the time of questionable dealings. Was there at any point any doubt in how the bank portrayed itself as a financial institution?
It's yes and no. Why am I saying so? Because most of us, although we're having doubt with these other investors, like this Enoch Kamshinda from Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwean one, he has got a bank in Zimbabwe which has ripped off Zimbabweans called Metropolitan Bank for a long time, but somehow he was protected. So when he came to this country, we were doubting. Even some of my colleagues at work, they asked, do we trust to put our money in SME Bank? But what gave us confidence, it was because the government had share. We said, no, we know we trust our government will not leave us in the code. Whatever happened to the bank, we have a government. You know, the government was bailing out even SME Bank then. We thought even when we come to the time of closure, they will simply bail out SME Bank and say, depositors, out of that bailout, you can get what? Your money. So our confidence came because of our government, which had a share in that particular bank.
On the issue of government being a shareholder and government ultimately deciding that they were not going to bail out and that the bank would be placed under the curatorship of the Bank of Namibia, are you satisfied with how government handled the situation then? And what do you think government should have done to avert the situation where people lost their livelihoods as a consequence of the bank's closure?
We thank you for that question. We are not happy. We're not happy with what the government have done so far. I think from the day the bank was closed, I think it was the Bank of Namibia, then the governor, who went to court to ask the bank to be closed on that particular date. They should have made some considerations before that. So that's where we had a problem. We started. So far, we have a problem in terms of government because we are told, or we know, that there are a lot of government officials who is also owing the bank, the SME Bank. So somehow, even when we are fighting with the liquidators, they tell us the government is not giving the liquidators enough support for them to collect certain money. You asked me later before the break that are the liquidators doing enough? I said no, because also these officials, we believe, we are speculating here, they are also hindering them in terms of them collecting the money effectively. This is where the problem is coming. I even heard by one of the liquidators when I was talking, he said, no, some of the government officials, they are even telling us to write off the dates of their debts in the bank. For example, if a top government officials went there and took 1 million, you want that written off. But at whose expense? It's us ordinary poor Namibians who have deposited our money. This is what we are saying no. So the liquidators, they are also entangled somewhere. I'm not sure how exactly it's working. Yes. So we are not happy at all in terms of what the government has done to help the ordinary Namibian who put their money there.
As initial investors and as shareholders at the time in the bank, what should government have done, or what should government be doing to ensure that there is a favorable outcome?
I think also there was, from the part of, I stand to be corrected, from the part of Bank of Namibia, I think also when they implement the Banking Act, I think the monitoring of SME Bank was not done properly. Not to say, we were also confident, as you asked me, Samo, because I remember the chairperson of the bank is one of the government top officials now. I don't want to mention names. I think we know now is the Speaker of the Cabinet or the
Secretary to Cabinet.
Secretary to the Cabinet. So all those things, they gave us confidence that we are in safe hands.
And then as depositors, how do you intend to move forward to ensure that you could recover monies from the bank? I mean, given what was deposited and given what is owed, and given what is in the bank now, and what avenues are you looking at to ensure that you could perhaps get something out of the bank?
There are probabilities now. Because of the 48 million only left, and how many bank creditors who need to be paid. I remember some organizations got millions, even Parastate House. So 48 million is not even enough to distribute to many of the creditors there. So for us ordinary ones, we are saying we need to get all our money. As a small Namibians, this was a good initiative for the government. I remember by then it was initiated by His Excellency the President, now when he was a Minister for Trade.
Yes.
And everybody welcomed it. But now as we are at this point, then we are saying, but where is the government who had initiated? We are still SMEs. We still need support. So people are suffering. People are suffering. They need their money for their livelihoods, even to start new businesses.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Evening Review.
All right, thank you very much. Before I go, I just want to call upon the other SME, those ones who are owed their money in SME Bank, to call us so that we can, we are now going to, I think you asked me something to do with what are we going to do next. We plan to petition, to petition for ordinary poor Namibians with money in the bank. So we need all of us to come together and write this petition. We are going to hand this petition. We are still deciding, but we are thinking of petitioning the office of the president, because the president was the Minister of Trade then. So he understands what SME Bank is. But maybe what they are not understanding from their office is how an ordinary Namibian is suffering, because we have money in the bank. People are very angry now. They want their money. So I would want to give a number, if possible.
Yes,
if you allow me. Let me just get a number where people can call us. Let me give you a number. We will put you on the group. On that particular group, we have to communicate and see how we can all work together to sort out this issue. All right. All right. Those ones who want to call me, you can call my number. Then I will give you to join the group. I will give you my cell phone number now, 0811 481404. Let me repeat again, 0811 481404. Just send me a message. We'll add you to the group. We'll plan together what we are going to do, because we are all suffering out there. We need our money back from the SME Bank. So please contact us so that we can do this petition. We need to hand over the petition either to the president or the official who decide together, so that we get the money. And this, at least it will alleviate some suffering in us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ongo.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Evening Review. Do have yourself a pleasant evening.
All right. Thank you.